remember my first time. It was year 2000, 12 inches, butter chicken, pizza. What do you think I was talking about? And then of course I remember my first glass of beer.
Obviously.
And then the first time I saw a girl and thought she was really, really cute. I was still in school. And then of course, the first time.
That sounds dangerous.
Everybody that's watching this video and a lot of people in general are going to have a new first time, because what we're driving today, the Tiago.ev, could be your first ever car. First ever car. And if not your first ever car, it could very well be your first ever EV. So, today's question, will this be memorable? So I guess I have two questions to answer then. So let's start with the latter. What truly makes a car memorable? Well, I guess it makes it memorable if you can make memories in it. It's like a give and take, isn't it? And to make memories in a car, you actually have to be able to go places. The simple solution is, the simple question is this going to give you range anxiety? Is this going to be a usable EV?
Well, on paper, yes, it comes in two variants. One gets 257 kilometers of range, but the one you really want, well, that's the extended range version, and that gets
315 kilometers. Now, of course, these are official figures, figures that you and I are never going to get in real life, figures that even if you really hype a mile, will be next to impossible to get. Figures that have an asterisk attached to them always. So what's the usable figure, the real figure, a normal person figure?
realistically, and this would entail driving like a human being and not having a lead-lined right foot like I do, I think maybe you should eke out about 230 to maybe 250 kilometers of range.
If you drive it like Cyrus Dabur in S normally, you'll get a sub 200 figure. But even a sub 200 figure is honestly more than enough, because this is a hatchback. And how many people do you know that do long road trips in a hatchback anymore? Everybody does it in an SUV, right? But how many people do you know that use a hatchback for a normal city commute? How many people buy a hatchback as their first car? And how many people realistically drive more than 200 kilometers per week? Not a lot, I can bet. And that is what's going to make this a very usable first car. And of course, it's going to make a very usable, by association, first EV.
There is a lot to like about the Tiago.ev. The way it looks, for example. We recently asked what the best looking cars ever made in India were, and this for sure would be in my personal top 5 list. But then, there are some things I dislike too. No alloy wheels, a miss. No LED headlights, another miss. Don't they use less wattage as well? And don't they run cooler? And then there is the rotary gear knob. Now, I know I could make a knob joke here, but all I have to say is that it is a little slow to respond and lacks just a little bit of tactile feedback. I don't mean that as a joke, but it is not a deal breaker. What could be a deal breaker though is the lack of a spare wheel. Not a very good idea on Indian roads, as we found out firsthand.
Okay, now there are a few positives, of course, because this is at the end of the day an EV, and that means it's going to do EV things better than IC car things, which means it's going to be quieter, faster, smoother, and has less NVH, obviously, as compared to a standard Tiago. And we've driven a standard Tiago. In fact, I literally was driving a standard Tiago for 4 days straight before I got into this car. Of course, it does come at a cost, a rather large cost, because the top of the line car, this what we're driving today, is nearly 12 lakh rupees on road, and that is a bit of an issue, because for the standard thinking I buy a car by what it gives me kind of person, which is what most Indian buyers are. 12 lakhs is small SUV territory. Are people ready to buy an EV, a smaller EV than a small SUV yet, considering the fact that small SUV gives you more space, probably more features, more street cred, and just in general a bigger car experience?
Or rather, should you buy this over a mid-level subcompact SUV? Simple answer, yes, emphatically. But a more sensible answer with a proper caveat, yes, only if you have some infrastructure to back you up. Now, if you want to know how much time it will take to charge it up, here is a table we're going to run for the next few seconds or so to help you get an overall gist of it.
I think this is the best EV that Tata Motors makes. Not because it's the cheapest EV they make. I honestly think the Nexon is a fantastic car. But I think this is the best EV because this truly does, for the price point, what a mass market EV should do. It basically puts more people into an electric car. And since when is that a bad thing?
You coming? Show me that sauce. Now let's go. I'm fly, that's fact, can't deny that. Never down, cause I continue to bounce back. Got power under this glam and under your scowl. I know you're a fan. Whoever said we both can't shine, you can get yours, cause I'm gonna get mine. Everyone I roll with, looking real fine. Wanna slide with the crew.
Do I really need to tell you if that was fun?